I want to share today my insights, my observations in my life and during my work in regards of the feminine organs. And as some of you know, I'm trained osteopath and naturopath. And the focus of my work is to really open the senses for what the body is telling, what story the body is telling, and my intention with this video is to share what I observed in the area of female organs, what kind of a main pattern is, and what kind of directions and symptomatics in a way come together when I meet and support people with, I would say, like we say in osteopathic like expression, like a disbalance in those organs. So I want to invite you in this field of exploration, I would say. Okay. So our female organs are in fact like the manifestation of what makes us women. So it's like the densest manifestation of, in this carnation, of being a woman. And when we talk about like manifestation of energy, it's like the physical body, it's like really the densest one, and then the mental field, emotional field, and I would say like all those layers in our energy field which are holding like the frequency of our soul, they're not very dense, so they're more subtle. And I think it's always a good start, that's what I love about my work, to start with the body and to really integrate the body. So those organs make us women. And I think, it's like kind of obvious that it's still like in a collective field, there's a lot of shame, a lot of insecurity of what it really means to be a woman, and it's so diverse. And I think it's good that this topic is coming more and more to the surface, that it's also being discussed, and I think that's very healthy. And I would say all these organs, what I observe in my work, it's like, in essence, I would say those organs are like, as I said, the expression of the feminine essence. And what I observe is the most, what I get in my private practice is like those organs, they are not connected to the feminine essence. So it's like there are layers of gaining protection from, I would say, like so-called the masculine essence, which are in the feminine organs. Sorry. And it's like a mixture. It's like I feel it. It's like for the body, it's like it doesn't know really where can I really honor and grow and expand my feminine power. So it's like I don't know where's my place in this body. I just don't know. That's the pattern I get a lot of times. So what I observe, for example, is that this feminine essence and those organs, they are like kind of shut down. So it's like no life in it. It's like no flow in it. It's no love in it. It's no light in it. It's like really like a frequency of they don't even exist. So there's no physical connection of those women I meet sometimes. You can sense it's like a disconnection to those organs. And that's like kind of, it's just normal. And that's one side. And another pattern, a frequency I observe, it's like, okay, I have those feminine powers in my physical body, and I use them for what I want. So I consciously or unconsciously being trained or trained myself to use those powers for my will, to protect myself, to protect my boundaries, to not really express the feminine purity of my core. And another part is that for me it's like the one core of a feminine essence is living in a rhythmic life, living in a rhythmic expression of emotions, of thoughts, of expressions. And I mean, oftentimes this rhythm has never been felt. So, I mean, I think it starts very early on, so we could talk about this topic like for hours. But I would point now to the situation when a woman gets her first period, and so oftentimes it's kind of a topic which is not being talked about. It's like, oh, I need to hide it. It's like, oh, and nobody should notice. I need to do everything that nobody's noticing. So that's kind of interesting, I think. And I remember from my side, I was like kind of waiting. I was like, something needs to happen now. Like kind of a, like a celebration in a way. And so I remember I was kind of confused because a huge part of me felt it's so important. It's like really a next step of becoming a woman. And so that's one side when I'm talking about the rhythmic expression of being a woman and the essence of being a woman, of being in the rhythm. And also you can see this in the cycle. I mean, it's a lot of people are not talking about it, and I think that's very good and so important. And when we only say like, okay, like just one word like the pill, it's like completely destroying your inner rhythm and your connection to your core. So that's kind of interesting. And so I observe a lot when there's a disbalance in the female organs. It's like a lot of times those women are not feeling their inner inherent rhythmic force. There's like no knowledge about it, no sensation about it, no time they spend with feeling their rhythm and what it even means, what it could mean. And in combination of this being in your own rhythm and so being out of your own rhythm, I observed that those organs are like they are like so full of unresolved like emotions and thought patterns of what it means to be a woman, of insults of the feminine essence, of powerlessness, and of really standing in this alignment with I'm surrendering, but I'm like really here. So I'm not surrendering and losing all my boundaries because I'm love. And so when I observe those organs, they are like really full. They are right before exploding in a way, because it's like I feel this body. When I feel a body like this, it's like it cannot even hold one more thing which is not being felt, which is not being healthy and nourishing, which is not really nurturing also the self. So I observe there's like really an area which is quite common when there's a disbalance in those organs. And I also want to address the topic of that there's like a ground for, in the woman there's like a ground for giving and for giving new life, for gifting new life. And this ground, this foundation is oftentimes so hard and so filled with masculine essence, and it's also needed, but in the feminine organs, I feel it's important that the feminine essence is stored there. The creativity, the expression, the expression of the core, that it can really flow and flow inside of the body and flow outside in an expression in life in itself. And what I want to say with the foundation of really giving birth to a new life is so oftentimes covered with hard masculine patterns. And I don't mean the healed masculine pattern, but it's like I need protection. I need to be like put together. I need to be like, nobody should notice what I really feel. So it's too much. It's too this. It's too that. A lot of judgments there. And for a new life to be birthed, for the seed really to flourish, we need a healthy foundation, a clear, pure foundation of love and of a healthy ground. And this needs to be like, not needs to be, I think you get my point, but I think and I feel it's important that it's soft and welcoming and in love and filled with love and light. And that's not like a superficial, I would say like everything is love and light, but it's like important when we are talking about giving a foundation for new life, that we maybe spend some time of thinking about how am I connected with my organs, with my feminine organs, with my womb, with my ovaries, with my breasts. And do I feel a connection there? Do I feel love flowing there? Do I sense if something is not okay? Do I feel and express my boundaries when something is not okay? And do I know what is important for me and for my personal space? And yeah, I think those topics are really deep, and my intention with sharing what I observed until now is that you maybe start feeling in it. And when you have, like, for example, some issues and some disbalances, as we say that you get some impulses how you can address this topic. And when you feel a resonance with what I shared, I'm happy when you share it with your friends and with the women in your family, because I think it's important that the women nearest in your life, that there is a conversation actually about those topics and about honoring the feminine. What does it mean? And when you feel you want to spend some more time and dive deeper on an individual basis, you can contact me. I'm sending you love and respect for your journey.